ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency the Governor of Odisha, Professor Ganeshi Lal. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu. Ladies and gentlemen, the National Anthem. Pranam, warm regards and a very good morning. On behalf of the High Court of Orissa, we extend our warm greetings to the President of India on this momentous occasion for the valedictory ceremony of the 75th year of the High Court of Orissa. It's a great honor and privilege to have the august presence of the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji. We are also privileged to have amongst us the Honorable Governor of Odisha, Professor Ganeshi Lal, Dr. Justice S. Murlidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, Justice Subhashish Talapatra, Judge, High Court of Orissa, Shri Jagannath Sarka, Minister of Law, ST and SC Development, Minorities and Backward Classes Welfare, Government of Odisha, Shri Ashok Parija, Advocate General Odisha, and Shri Dharanidhara Naik, President, High Court Bar Association on the dais. इंडोर स्टेडियम के इस प्रांगण की शोभा बढ़ा रहे सभी न्यायाधीशों, पूर्वतन न्यायाधीशों, श्रद्धास्पद गणमान्य व्यक्तियों का हम हार्दिक अभिनंदन करते हैं. Today is an auspicious day in the history of High Court of Orissa. On this momentous occasion, may I now humbly request Dr. Justice S. Murlidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, to kindly present his welcome address to the august gathering.
Pranam, Vande Utkala Janani. A very warm good morning to everyone present. It gives me great pleasure to welcome in our midst our beloved President of India, Honorable Srimati Draupadi Murmu. Today, the High Court of Orissa completes the 75th year of its existence as a constitutional authority, delivering justice to the people of Odisha. By gracing this very special occasion with her presence, the first citizen and the proud daughter of Odisha has gladdened the hearts of every one of the judges, past and present, the judicial officers, the lawyers, the law clerks, employees, and the entire judicial fraternity present here, and those watching the live streaming of these proceedings online. What can be more befitting for this historic moment than to have the holder of the highest constitutional office and as the executive head and the appointing authority of each of the judges of the Supreme Court and the High Courts preside over this function. Madam President, You are an inspiration to the crores of your fellow citizens and millions of Odias by your life's own work and experience, which has witnessed many a challenge, which you have overcome with great inner strength and grace. May I, with your kind permission, congratulate you on successful completion of 1 year of holding the highest office in the country. The High Court of Orissa is grateful to you for having very kindly agreed to be the chief guest and deliver the keynote address on this momentous occasion. This is a moment to cherish for each one of us. On behalf of the High Court of Orissa, I extend a hearty welcome to our beloved Governor, Honorable Professor Ganeshi Lalji. His presence on this very important event in the history of the judiciary in Odisha signifies the immense regard in which he holds the High Court. Only in February this year, the Honorable Governor was kind enough to inaugurate the Museum of Justice, and his inspiring words on that occasion have been a great source of strength and encouragement to us. We are privileged, sir, to have you participate in this function. We happily welcome Shri Jagannath Saraka, Honorable Minister of Law, ST and SC Development, Minorities and Backward Classes Welfare, Government of Odisha, who has been requested by the Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha to represent him on this occasion. Indeed, sir, we are honored to have you in our midst. In the evolution and growth of the High Court of Odisha, many of its stalwart judges and lawyers have played a significant role. Representing the bar in Odisha, we have with us on the dais Shri Ashok Parija, the Learned Advocate General of Odisha, who is its senior most law officer, and Shri Dharanidhar Nayak, Learned Senior Advocate and President of the Odisha High Court Bar Association. I warmly welcome this on this occasion on behalf of the High Court of Odisha. On this important occasion, I welcome my colleague judges and their spouses, former judges of the High Court of Odisha, learned senior advocates and members of the bar, Chief Secretary, Government of Odisha, and the officers of the government present here. Officers of the President's Secretariat, New Delhi, and the Governor's Secretariat, Director General of Police, Commissioner of Police and other police officials, the Chief Postmaster General, Odisha Circle, and all officers from the Department of Posts, the Collector Cuttack, the judicial officers, officers of the High Court Registry led by the Registrar General, officials and representatives of the print and electronic media, and all ladies and gentlemen present. The High Court's judicial history commenced in 1916 when the circuit bench of the Patna High Court began holding its sittings in Cuttack. Even before the Constitution of India could be formally brought into force, the Orissa High Court Order 1948 was published on 30th April 1948. The first 4 judges of the High Court of Odisha, including the first Chief Justice, Shri Birakishore Rai, took their oaths of office on 26 July 1948. It was a historic moment. The pendency then was around 2,000 cases. In 1978, the sanction strength of the judges rose to 8. The number of pending cases rose to 7,057. In 2022, this High Court had a working strength of 24 judges, the highest ever in its history. In 2022, the High Court disposed of 136,599 cases and delivered 2,118 judgments. The district judiciary, with the current strength of 808 judges, disposed of in 2022 5,15,392 cases and delivered 1,61,263 judgments. The High Court of Orissa has been in the forefront as regards the adaptation of technology to improve access to justice. In the last 2 years, each of the branches, both judicial and non-judicial in the High Court, have been refurbished with an entirely new ambience and decor. In the High Court today, on the administrative side, the non-judicial branches and the Chief Justice's Secretariat are all paperless with the adoption of the Odisha Judicial Workflow Automation System. Other measures include opening of vulnerable witness deposition centers in every one of the 30 districts, virtual courts of the High Court in 20 districts, introduction of paperless courts in the High Court and the district courts, e-filing, provision of e-libraries for district court lawyers, and many such measures. Through all these measures, the judiciary in Odisha is witnessing a transformation in a positive way and creating a working atmosphere that incentivizes higher productivity of the judges and staff, both in the High Court and the district courts. The complete cooperation and assistance, both in terms of provision of infrastructure and finance by the state government, has contributed to this in no small measure. Odisha is perhaps the only state to have an exclusive judicial infrastructure management agency. In the 75th year of the High Court, we've been able to launch new projects and schemes, hold 2 national conferences, one on digitization and paperless courts, and the other on judicial history, and hold a number of events, including those involving former judges whom we honored in this very venue on 8th April of this year, lawyers, law clerks, our staff, our judicial officers, and law students. Today's is the fitting finale of the 75th year celebration of the Odisha High Court. The institution is moving ahead, strengthened by the confidence that the coming generation of judges and lawyers are committed to carrying forward the constitutional vision of delivering fair and equal justice to the people of Odisha. Madam President, the High Court is aware that issues of justice to the poor and the marginalized are close to your heart. On behalf of the High Court and the District Judiciary, we assure you that we will make every effort to reduce the waiting time of litigants, especially the poor and vulnerable ones, in the court of justice. The High Court is a people's institution and is committed to delivering on the constitutional promise of justice to the people of Odisha without fear or favor, affection or ill will. I shall not take much more time, but before I conclude, I want to say, Mahamihim Bharatra Rashtrapati Mahodaya, Manibar Rajyapal Odisha, Manibar Mantri, एवं एठारे उपस्थित तिभा समस्त अतिथि भाई ओ भावनो मानंतु मु ओडिशा उच्च न्यायालय तरफरु यही शुभ अवसर रे हार्दिक ओ हृदयर स्वागत जनाउछि एवं अशेष अशेष धन्यवाद दउछि। जय हिंद।
Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome extended to our guests. As a token of our reverence and gratitude, may I now request Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, to kindly present a shawl and a memento to the Honorable President of India, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji. As a token of our humble appreciation and respect, may I now request Justice Subhashish Talapatra, Judge, High Court of Orissa, to kindly present a shawl and a memento to the Honorable Governor of Odisha, Professor Ganeshi Lal. May I now request Shri Ashok Parija, Advocate General Odisha, to kindly present a shawl and a memento to Shri Jagannath Sarka, Minister of Law, Government of Odisha. Now is the time for release of the souvenir of the High Court of Orissa. I would now request Dr. Justice S. Muralidhar, Chief Justice, High Court of Orissa, to kindly present the first copy of the souvenir to the Honorable President of India. I would also request other dignitaries on the dais to join with Honorable President Madam for release of the souvenir. The souvenir celebrating the 75 glorious years of the establishment of the High Court of Orissa contains messages from the Honorable President of India, Honorable Prime Minister of India, Honorable Governor of Odisha, Honorable Chief Justice of India, Honorable Minister of State for Law and Justice, Honorable Chief Minister of Odisha, former Chief Justices of India, former Supreme Court judges, and other dignitaries. It is indeed our proud privilege that on the occasion of 75th year of celebration of High Court of Orissa, by courtesy of Department of Posts, one commemorative postage stamp is going to be released by Honorable Governor of Odisha to commemorate the 75th year. Now, I would like to request Shri Subhendu Swai, Chief Postmaster General, Odisha Circle, to come to the dais and present the first album to the Honorable Governor of Odisha for release, and to hand over the first album to the Honorable President. I would also request the Honorable Governor of Odisha and other dignitaries on the dais to join with Honorable President Madam for releasing of the commemorative postage stamp. The commemorative postage stamp encapsulates the very essence of justice and the profound impact the High Court has had on the lives of the countless individuals. High Court of Orissa is the 9th High Court in India for which the commemorative postage stamp has been released. It is the 7th institutional building in Odisha for which the commemorative postage stamp has been issued. High Court of Orissa expresses its sincere thanks to the Department of Posts for releasing the commemorative postage stamp on this occasion. Thank you. May we now request Shri Jagannath Saraka, Honorable Minister of Law, ST and SC Development, Minorities and Backward Classes Welfare, Government of Orissa, to kindly address the gathering. Sir.
ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ମୋର ନମସ୍କାର। ଆଜି ଅନୁଷ୍ଠିତ ହୋଇଥିବା ଉଚ୍ଚ ନ୍ୟାୟାଳୟର 75ତମ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠା ଦିବସ ସମାରୋହରେ ଉଦ୍ଯାପନୀ ଅବସରରେ ଆମ ଗହଣରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଥିବା ମହାମହିମ ରାଷ୍ଟ୍ରପତି ଶ୍ରୀମତୀ ଦ୍ରୌପଦୀ ମୁର୍ମୁ ମହାଶୟା, ମାନ୍ୟବର ରାଜ୍ୟପାଳ ପ୍ରଫେସର ଗଣେଶଲାଲ ମହୋଦୟ, ଓଡ଼ିଶା ଉଚ୍ଚ ନ୍ୟାୟାଳୟର ମାନ୍ୟବର ମୁଖ୍ୟ ବିଚାରପତି ଡକ୍ଟର ଜଷ୍ଟିସ୍ ଏସ୍ ମୁରଲୀଧର ମହୋଦୟ ଏବଂ ମଞ୍ଚରେ ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ମାନ୍ୟବର ବିଚାରପତିଗଣ, ଉପସ୍ଥିତ ଅନ୍ୟ ସମସ୍ତ ସମ୍ମାନିତ ଅତିଥି, ପ୍ରେସ୍ ମିଡ଼ିଆ ବନ୍ଧୁଗଣ, ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ମୁଁ ଆଜି ଏହି ସମାବେଶରେ ଅଭିନନ୍ଦନ ଏବଂ ସ୍ୱାଗତ ଜଣାଉଛି। 1948 ମସିହା ଜୁଲାଇ 24 ତାରିଖରେ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠିତ ଓଡ଼ିଶା ହାଇକୋର୍ଟର ଆମ ରାଜ୍ୟର ନ୍ୟାୟିକ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥାକୁ ଅନେକ ପରିବର୍ତ୍ତନ ଆଣିପାରିଛି। ସାଧାରଣ ଜନତା ଏହାଦ୍ୱାରା ବହୁ ମାତ୍ରାରେ ଉପକୃତ ହୋଇଛନ୍ତି। ନ୍ୟାୟ ପ୍ରଦାନ କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ମାନ୍ୟବର ଓଡ଼ିଶା ହାଇକୋର୍ଟର ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଅବଦାନ ରହିଛି। ଆମେ ଭାରତବାସୀ ବିଶେଷ ଭାବେ ଗର୍ବିତ କି ଆମ ଗଣତନ୍ତ୍ର ସମୟକ୍ରମେ ମଜବୁତ ଏବଂ ଅଧିକ ସଫଳ ହୋଇଛି। ଏଥିପାଇଁ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥାର ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ସ୍ତମ୍ଭର ଗୁରୁତ୍ୱପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଯୋଗଦାନ ରହିଛି। ସମ୍ବିଧାନର ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ଅନୁସାରେ ଲୋକସଭା, ବିଧାନସଭା, କାର୍ଯ୍ୟନିର୍ବାହୀ ଏବଂ ନ୍ୟାୟପାଳିକା ସର୍ବଦା ଲୋକଙ୍କ କଲ୍ୟାଣ ପାଇଁ ଉତ୍ତରଦାୟୀ। ଏହି ଦାୟିତ୍ୱ ନିଷ୍ଠାର ସହିତ ପାଳନ କରିବା ହେଉଛି ଆମର ପ୍ରଧାନ କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ। ସାଧାରଣ ଗରିବ ଖଟିକିଆ ଲୋକଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ଏ ସମସ୍ତ ବ୍ୟବସ୍ଥା ସୁବିଧାରେ ଅଳ୍ପ ସମୟରେ ଏବଂ କମ୍ ଖର୍ଚ୍ଚରେ ପହଞ୍ଚାଇବା ଆମର ମୂଳ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ୟ ହେବା ଆବଶ୍ୟକ। ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ଜାଣନ୍ତି କି ମାନ୍ୟବର ମୁଖ୍ୟମନ୍ତ୍ରୀ ଯୁକ୍ତ ନବୀନ ପଟ୍ଟନାୟକଙ୍କ ବଳିଷ୍ଠ ନେତୃତ୍ୱ ଏବଂ ଦିଗ୍ଦର୍ଶନ ଯୋଗୁଁ ଆମ ରାଜ୍ୟ ଶିକ୍ଷା, ସ୍ୱାସ୍ଥ୍ୟ, କୃଷି, ଗମନାଗମନ, ଅର୍ଥନୀତି, କ୍ରୀଡ଼ା, ବିପର୍ଯ୍ୟୟ ପରିଚାଳନା ଇତ୍ୟାଦି କ୍ଷେତ୍ରରେ ଅନେକ ବିକାଶ ଲାଭ କରିଛି ଏବଂ ଅନ୍ୟ ରାଜ୍ୟମାନଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଉଦାହରଣ ପାଇଛି। 5T ଆଭିମୁଖ୍ୟ ଯୋଗୁଁ ପ୍ରଶାସନ ଗତିଶୀଳ ହୋଇଛି। ଅନଲାଇନ୍ ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ ସାଧାରଣ ଜନତା ଘରେ ବସି ଅନେକ ସରକାରୀ ସେବା ସୁବିଧା ପାଇପାରୁଛନ୍ତି। खुशी विषय मान्यवर ओडिशा हाईकोर्ट वैषयिक ज्ञान व्यवहार करी ऑनलाइन माध्यम न्यायिक व्यवस्था को अधिक लोकों निकटतर हो पारी। आशा करी आज शुभ मुहूर्त मान्यवर हाईकोर्ट अधिक संस्कारमूलक पदक्षेप नेब जहाँफल न्यायिक व्यवस्था उपर साधारण जनता आस्था और विश्वास अतुट रसतु यही अवसर जे माने बहु श्रम साकार करी ओडिशा हाईकोर्टर प्रतिष्ठा निमंते उद्यम करते से आम आज सम्मान सहित स्मरण करवा जो जगजन्म महापुरुष वो व्यक्ति विशेष ओडिशा हाईकोर्टर बार और बेंचर सुनाम अर्जन करी न्यायिक व्यवस्था को अधिक क्रियाशील कर प्रति विनम्र श्रद्धांजलि जनाऊँ एवं न्यायपालिका सहित जड़ित समस्त व्यक्ति को यही कार्यक्रम आयोजन कर धन्यवाद एवं समस्त को नमस्कार करी मोर वक्तव्य शांत कर
Thank you, sir. It is now with immense pleasure and gratitude we welcome the Honorable Governor of Odisha, Professor Ganeshila, to address the august audience. Sir.
जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भव तुम्हें। मैंने महसूस किया कि हर नजर जिनके दर्शन करने को ललायित है, उत्सुक है, प्रतीक्षारत है, ऐसे आदि शक्ति की संतान मेरे महान भारत की महामहिम राष्ट्रपति महोदया जी इस युग को अपनी मुस्कान लुटाते फिर रहे ऐसे हमारे सबके प्रिय ऑनरेबल चीफ जस्टिस डॉक्टर एस मुरलीधर जी, ऑनरेबल जज पात्रा जी, मेरे परम स्नेही मित्र, मेरी सरकार में मंत्री श्रीयुक्त जगन्नाथ जी, आदरणीय श्री अशोक परिजा जी, बार काउंसिल के ऑनरेबल प्रेसिडेंट, and you the manifestations of Chitraratha sitting before me, Ashwatathas, Vrikshanam, Devarishinam, Janarada, Gandharvanam, Chitraratha, Siddhanam. You are the Chitraratha of this present land, you see, this planet, you see. I salute you with my folded hands, you see. Whatever I have learned from all of you, see, all the doctrines which have been enshrined in the scriptures, maybe the New Testament, maybe Quran, maybe Gita, the Vedas, by the sages, the seers and the saints of the world at large. All the rules and the principles which have been so constituted in the constitution of the different countries, all the arrangements which have been so formulated in the judiciary, in the executive, in the legislature, etc., for a smooth interaction, for an absolute harmony between man, nature, science and God, fall under the ambit of the rule of law. Now this rule of law becomes a teasing illusion if it is not accessible to the people at large. It is also of a teasing nature, the different courts of the different laws. But more so, leaving aside all these things, when it becomes a selective principle of law, then there is nobody to save the planet, you see. So as far as the rule of law is concerned, that simply means performing the ordained duty as an entity in evolution, culminating in God as a superman, deciphering the mystery of creations, preservations, destructions, and helping us to accept the wise dictum that thy will be done. We are basically the servitors of the transcendence, you see. Transcendental servitors we are. And the maximum depends upon you, you see. SC Supreme Court is said to be the conscience keeper of the independent world, you see. The Constitution also recognizes the intrinsic relation between judicial administration and administration for justice also. But judicial administration becomes, if free, fair, speedy, then it becomes judicial justice administration, you see. The world at large, you see, is gripped with the selective principle of law. It happened in the times of Mahabharata also, say. Bhishma was a selective principle of law. He was devoted just to Hastinapur. Karna's rule of law was nothing else but Duryodhana. Dronacharya's rule of law was Ashwathama. And therefore all these persons may be having Ichha Mrityu Vardhan. They were murdered like anything, you see. Today also in the world, you see, people have their own laws, you see. Duryodhana was himself the law himself, you see. Now in this torn world, you see, conflicting world, you can say, there is one unique person. Fortunately, that is the Prime Minister of India, who talks of one earth, one family, one future, one sun, one world, one guild, conscious-centric globalization, planet and human-centric globalization. The person who speaks very to the world at large, you see, ये मोहब्बत का समय है, प्रेम का समय है, युद्ध का समय नहीं है. So the rule of law must be observed by the world at large. That is what the Prime Minister is speaking time and again, you see. It is called in Bhagavad Gita Swadharam, you see. Also Lord Krishna speaks, Yada yada hi dharmasya galanir bhavati bharat. Whenever there is a decline of righteous conduct, I manifest myself in every millennium to deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, you see. That is what Lord Krishna speaks, you see, and that is what you are. You are the manifestation of Lord Prabhu Jagannatha. You will excuse me, you see. I of course, you see, hold you in high esteem.